Mansfield Senior Lady Tigers versus Mount Vernon Lady Yellow Jackets.
Girls basketball OCC action on the way, live and free from Pete Henry Gym tonight, where the Mansfield Lady Tigers are back on the floor, looking to ward off Mount Vernon for their first win of the season. It's the Lady Jackets buzzing into senior high, fresh off of a win last night, and it's coming up right after this.
A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. A local veteran-owned dealership caring about the community, providing quality vehicles at rock-bottom pricing. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it. Daisy the Doodle says, thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
First week of competitive action for Mansfield Senior has the Lady Tigers back at it again for the second time in 3 days, hosting Mount Vernon tonight. OCC girls basketball set to tip off in just a few minutes here inside of Pete Henry Gymnasium. Good evening, folks, and welcome to Mansfield Senior High. I'm Brian Skowronski, joined by Effie James tonight. And we will step aside for just a brief moment as we honor America with the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Then we will get you ready for girls OCC basketball coming up in just a few minutes. We have paid our respects to the red, white, and blue, and we are ready to get things underway on the hardwood. And I tell you what, Effie, for both of these teams, just getting back on the floor is something that is comforting It was over a month in between the pregame scrimmages for Mansfield Senior and their first game, which went down just 2 nights ago, where Senior High was very competitive Monday night. 43-38 loss to Clear Fork, but they showcased some depth. They've got some nice young talent despite playing in their first game, so there's a lot of room to grow. You can definitely take some positives away from that first loss.
Well, absolutely. Just being on the floor, there's nothing like you can't do enough wind sprints in practice. You can't do enough of that preparation as realistic as you try to make it in practice. You can't do it until game time. So I'm sure Coach Hudgens and his staff are just delighted to be able to get out here and actually play games and get their ladies into some game shape.
Mount Vernon is a team in the same uncertain ship as the Tigers and basically everyone else all around the globe right now during this pandemic. They are fresh out of quarantine, played a game last night on the road at East Knox where they came out victorious. They've only had 3 practices, though, in 3 weeks. So for Coach Savage and company, they feel like, just like you said, conditioning is probably the top concern at this point, right. But they are overjoyed just to be back into playing friendly competition.
Yeah, and absolutely. And to come in and have a game like this, to come on the road and get your ladies tested, I'm sure I couldn't imagine, being a former coach, I just could not imagine the situation that they're in and expected to go out and you try to compete and you want to put your best foot forward in the games. But in reality, these are like glorified practices right now. Early in, you're only 3 or 4 games in. These are like glorified practices. So these staffs and players are trying to make the best of it. But on the inside, I'm sure they're just happy to be able to play.
And last night in the win over the Lady Bulldogs, Emily Burke off the bench hadn't scored a point all season, Effie. Led the squad with 17. So this is a situation, I think, for probably both of these teams, and Mansfield probably more especially just playing in their second game, where they're still discovering who some of their top players are.
Absolutely. When you get out here and you play games, everything is different. So, sometimes you just need a game. You just need a game to see exactly how good you are, what your strengths are on the floor. Am I a better shooter? Am I a better driver? And nothing's going to be able to show you that better than game speed. So these ladies are figuring it out on the fly, and their coaches are too, because they're able to put together matchups and lineups on the floor that best accentuates that team. So it's interesting to see this early season.
In the Tigers' first game, it was actually a freshman that led them in scoring too, Effie. Julia Wyndham come out 10 points for the freshman. So I mentioned the young talent that these TY Tigers possess. A lot of freshmen. You don't normally see this at the varsity level, and particularly at a school like Mansfield Senior, but they had about 3 or 4 in the mix, get some big-time minutes, and they actually showcased, a lot of potential.
Well, I will give you some inside information about these 9th grade ladies. They have been the talk of the town since they were in about the 6th grade. And I remember people talking about them when they were playing in like friendly house leagues and AAU leagues, and people were saying these girls can play. So now that Coach Hudgens has his hands on them at the varsity level, he's not messing around. He's getting them some valuable varsity minutes, and a lot of these ladies are going to be big-time contributors throughout this season.
They also have the benefit of getting these transfers over from St. Peter's, like Ms. Rizzo there, Julia, who was just announced the senior, and that's big time for them to have a couple of these kids come over. And matter of fact, 3 of the starters for Mansfield Senior in Mitchell, Rizzo, and Wentz all inherited from the Lady Spartans. You got to like that.
Wow. And the thing is, they're upperclassmen. They provide some leadership on this young group of ladies. Mitchell, a junior, and the other 2 ladies, one's a junior and one's a sophomore. They provide that leadership and that gamesmanship that some of these young Tigers have not seen. So it provides a great balance for them and also gives them a little bit more experience on the floor as these young Tigers start to learn a little bit more about how to play varsity basketball.
And that's all that Mansfield Senior has this year. No junior varsity for some of these girls to get some extra minutes, if you will. Right. So, it's pretty much trial by fire with this Tigers team. Right. Just a few practices, since November 22nd, and already back on the floor here in their second game. So it's a challenging season, but everybody's dealing with similar circumstances.
Well, and I'm telling you, I will be willing to bet you that everybody, with all the challenges, we say we'd still rather be playing. We'd still rather be playing. So it's great to see you know, all these winter sports, being able to get out and compete. That's the best thing.
Both teams now out on the floor. We'll see Mitchell jump things off here with McKenna Brokaw, junior, who's been a 2-year varsity letter winner. And the tip goes to the Tigers. And this is the player that really impressed me, Monetta Hillary. Just a freshman, but boy, does she have some slick moves off the bounce. Missed that one in tight, though. But the Tigers forced a tie-up. Possession arrow, of course, with the Jackets.
Well, I'll tell you, Hillary has, you know, you can see right away she's got really nice handles, and that's 3/4 of the game. If you can handle the basketball, that puts you so much further ahead than a lot of ladies her age.
Tigers displaying some full court pressure here. 2-1-2, nearly forced the turnover. Jackets will maintain possession.
Well, that 3/4 court press can be really disruptive if you got players that really know how to move, get active hands, and you're going to be able to get your hands on a lot of balls and force some turnovers.
To Tigers' top defender, Takaya White. Excellent pressure up top. Force the point guard to give it away. And the 3-ball clanks off the back iron. Rebound, and then the shot is blocked by Mansfield Senior. Here comes Hillary again, attacking the rim. Missed it again in tight. Mitchell with the rebound. Goes up, and that's the first 2 of the game.
Well, Monty Mitchell really active on the boards that time. Another great drive that time by Hillary. Just couldn't find it, but Mitchell really active on the boards. Was able to put it right back up and in.
And love her footwork too, Effie. As a junior, she's definitely she's got some polished post moves down there in the lane. Nice kick out, open jumper, splashing it home. Olivia Reddy squares things up.
Well, that's the thing about playing that 3/4 court press. It's nice when you can force turnovers, but when you can't, you leave yourself open for easy shots against the press if you don't get back in time.
Here's Wentz, dribble, middle of the floor. That one comes off the rim, and a foul on the rebound attempt against Rizzo. Be the first personal on either side here tonight. Jackets break the pressure with the dribble. Nice crossover move to get into the paint. Won't fall home, though, for Brokaw. But the Jackets going to get another shot at it here.
Well, McKenna Brokaw is being really aggressive. I can see how she led the team in scoring. She's being really aggressive to the basket, showing a lot of polish with their ball handling.
Mishandled there off the drive from Ellie Trace. Leads to Rizzo, coming back the other way. Scoop shot, and it's a pretty one off the square for 2 more.
Again, nice drive by Rizzo right down the lane. The C's parted for her there in the middle of the lane. She took it up strong to the basket.
Dangerous pass there, but the Jackets make it work. Mitchell with the nice defense. And I believe called for the foul here on the back of Brokaw. He's going to head to the line for a couple.
Lady Tiger foul number 1, Monetta Hillary. That's her first, team second.
Well, I think it's important to have someone be very aggressive here in the lane. And even though the Tigers may have the size advantage inside with Mitchell, Brokaw is really doing a great job of being aggressive to the basket. She was strong, got her own rebound, and went right back up and drew the foul.
The junior center has not had a great time at the free throw line, though, this season. Just 40% from the charity stripe for her. Though she splits the pair here. Pulls the Jackets within a point. 4-3 the score here in the early going. Just over 2 minutes gone by.
1-2-2 zone here played by the Yellow Jackets, and the Tigers are going to have to move the basketball. They're they're going to give you the open shot, but they're going to clog that middle because the Tigers have got some ladies that are really good at driving the lane.
And if memory serves, I believe Mansfield Senior made just one three-pointer in their season opener the other night against Clear Fork. So perimeter shots certainly are not anything that they were good at the other day. We'll see if that changes here and if Mount Vernon elects to allow them to shoot from the perimeter.
Right.
Tigers certainly have some guards that can attack off the bounce. Get into the gaps, though. They turn it over here. Lepley with the steal. Pushes it forward to Reddy. Rims out on her. Strong rebound by Hillary. Pushing the pace. 2-on-3. Brings it inside. Foul. I think it's a shooting foul. Actually, official says it's going to be on the floor. No, she will shoot a couple.
Yeah. Well, again, right away, I'm impressed. Hillary, as a ninth grader, has a really strong move to the basket. That time she drew contact and still had the strength to get it up near the rim. Looks like they're not going to give her that on the shot. She's going to take it out underneath.
It's hard not to be impressed with her as a ninth grader because of all the circumstances they face. Just very few practices for this Mansfield Senior team. Then off the offensive rebound, they splash home a triple. Kaya Wentz, the sophomore transfer. I shouldn't say transfer. Still going to St. Peter's School. Just gets to play here.
Exactly.
Just a unique year all the way around, Effie.
It is, isn't it? That time it was a really good second chance opportunity for Wentz to knock down that three. Then they come right away in the three-quarter court 2-2-1 and get their hand on the ball. That makes all the difference if you can pressure the basketball in the full court.
Very active hands for White. Thought that she came up with the theft there. Picks up the personal.
Yeah, and you could hear Coach Hudgens saying the whole time, don't reach. She had such a great position. She really didn't have to reach, but it's hard when you're that close to the ball. I feel like you can reach your hand in there and tap it away. Good defense, though, nonetheless.
Yeah, Javar gave Dakaya a bunch of praise when I had an opportunity to talk to him about her defensive presence. This one comes up short off the jumper from Reddy. Second chance opportunity airballed there from Brokaw. And it's the second rebound, I believe, for Hillary. Oh, nice crossover. Puts it up in the friendly roll here at home.
Yeah, she is tough. She is tough.
Jackets now trailing by 6. As the pressure's starting to get to them, Tigers forced a turnover. They've got a 3-on-1. Can they finish? No good on the first attempt. White fighting for the rebound. Draws the over the back call.
Nice crossover move that time by Hillary. And again, nice soft touch around the rim. That is, I'm telling you right now, Brian, that takes years for people for young players to be able to do. And as a freshman, she has that in her arsenal.
I love how fearless she is with the limited practices. Only her second varsity game. So that one's forced up by Kirsten Bradley. Three ball from the corner. Too strong there from Bainbridge. But the Jackets with the offensive board. Throw it away. Maybe tipped out. And boy, Javar, all he needs right now is a jersey. I mean, I think he's playing defense just about as hard as anybody on the floor right now. He gets after it.
Absolutely. It's sometimes when you got a young team, you got to coach every dribble and every pass, and that's what he's doing right now.
That's a heck of a pass, and one opportunity coming up for Olivia Reddy. She took the contact, and you see Javar. Man, he just never stops.
Well, again, a nice, strong move inside. She gathered herself and put the ball high on the glass, give it a chance to go in even after taking the contact. Nice move.
Cannot capitalize on the free throw opportunity. Rebound pulled down by Brown. Nice look inside to Gross, and she draws the foul.
Yeah, that's a nice cross-court pass right there. She she had her eyes on the basket and then found her teammate right underneath the basket for an even better shot. Nice look that time.
Talena Gross, junior guard, looking for her first point here of the night. Just checked in about a minute ago. And the stroke is pure, but you would expect that from a Gross, Effie.
Right. Right.
They've been known to do some things.
Right. There is a natural talent in that gene pool for sure.
Second one off the mark, but Bradley inside offensive board swatted away. That was Wyndham, rather. Tried to redeem herself. I think she's going to get called for the reach-in. Boy, that was close.
Yeah, that's a tough call. And, you know, when you're trapping and pressing all over the court, you're going to naturally be more aggressive. But, you know, she missed that shot. Like you said, I think she was trying to redeem herself a little bit.
Already 5 team fouls on Mansfield Senior, so just 2 more puts Mount Vernon on the line for the rest of the half. Off the iron, Brown skies up for a nice rebound. Wentz over to Gross. She'll try a deep 2. Misfired. Great offensive rebound by Bradley, but snaked away from her down low. Back the other way, bucket +1. McKenna Brokaw filling the lane nicely here.
Yeah, McKenna Brokaw here. Nice bounce pass in transition. That's one of the things that is so hard to teach players in basketball. You just want to throw it directly to them, but that bounce pass is a much easier pass to catch and finish. Great job that time by the Yellow Jackets.
Brokaw now with 3 points. Went 1 of 2 in her first trip to the free throw line tonight. Netta Hillary back out onto the floor. So the Tigers with the rebound after the missed free throw. 3-point advantage. Bradley called for the carry. A little overzealous there, trying to go coast to coast, I'd say.
Well, and I think she saw a lane, but I think she was getting ready to stop her dribble and got her hand underneath the ball. The referee was right there on the spot to see it. You know, that is the 3rd turnover for the Tigers. The Yellow Jackets are at 5 so far early in the game.
Make it 6. Bradley with the steal, gets it to Gross, takes the bump, and she's going to go back to the free throw line.
You know, one thing about both these teams, they're doing a really good job of attacking the basket. A lot of times you see teams that are willing to just work the ball around until they get an outside shot. Both these teams are really attacking the basket. You could tell that's part of their game plan.
It's so deafeningly quiet in here,
It
Effie.
is. I felt like I was just
screaming.
I felt like I was just screaming in there.
That is just another effect of the COVID, of course. 15% capacity is what we're allowed, so not a ton of people in here tonight.
Well, I think they're going to say it did not hit the rim, so that in that case it's a dead ball. But there's a little discussion about if it hit the rim or not.
There's a shot of the crowd here inside of Mansfield Senior High School. Pete Henry Gymnasium, one of the best gyms that we have here in all of North Central Ohio.
A pretty decent crowd considering the circumstances. You know, but everybody is doing as they're supposed to. Everybody is masked up and spaced out according to family, so nice to see, though. Yeah, I really enjoy the fact that the OHSAA and the school district decided to allow families to come in and watch their children play. That's great.
For everybody else here on the OH.Report, we are always proud to bring you the coverage of our high school sports live and free. No paywalls necessary with us. You just tune in on the Facebook and the YouTube, and you have a good time watching the sports. And we always love hearing from our fans. Chime in on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you are watching here tonight. And your comment may make it on Fan Zone, and No basket here. Oh, well, she called for a travel?
Wow. They called her for a travel. She done what I thought was a pretty nice spin move in the lane. But
as we watch the replay, that was very clearly not a travel. Should have been an and one, if anything.
Right. Another turnover for the Yellow Jackets. You know, one of the things that I've noticed, especially watching ladies sports, is sometimes you get some officials just aren't used to seeing certain moves. You know, and with the way the ball handling has changed and the way players are able to manipulate ball handling and their footwork, some officials just got to get used to that, because that clearly was a really good move by Hillary.
Three-ball quick trigger there from Brown, misfired. Wait for the officials to decide if this was tips or not. It's going to be a Mount Vernon giveaway. Those are starting to pile up a little bit.
Piling up. They're up to 8 turnovers already here in the first quarter.
They play with some nice pace, though. They get up and down the floor, and a lot of that, I think, is Mansfield Senior with that pressure that they're providing. As Rizzo unloads one from outside. Rebound corralled by Burke. And that's going to be White's second foul coming from the backside, just plowed right through Lepley.
And I think what the Tigers are doing right now, they're playing right into the Yellow Jacket hands. They're playing in that zone. They want them to take those threes, and sometimes you got to recognize that you're open for a reason. That's part of their game plan, and sure enough, Tigers got some ladies that can hit that shot, but they're having a lot more success getting into the lane and moving the basketball. So, you know, that's got to be an adjustment that they look to make here moving forward.
Here's Cora Lepley at the line. 1 and 1. Nothing but net on the first. And perfect at the free throw line so far on the season. No misses yet for her. And that's what you call the announcer's jinx,
Absolutely.
Effie.
Right on target.
Tried and true since the beginning of broadcasts. Hillary with a nice fake. Brings it in the lane off the square. Bit too strong. And off the knee of Rizzo. Out of bounds over to Mount Vernon.
You know, I would be willing to bet that Coach Hudgens is as talented as Hillary is, obviously. I would be willing to bet he would love to see just a little more ball movement and how things would open up more with a couple ball reversals. But nonetheless, you don't want to take a player like her and make her not be aggressive with the basketball.
Always tough to balance, I imagine, with pure talent versus structure.
Yeah. It's one of those things like when they make it, good play. When they don't, hey, move the ball a little bit.
Right. Exactly. Lepley feeds it inside, turning over the left shoulder. Jump hook miss from Reddy. And it's out of play over to Mansfield Senior. Tigers have been stuck at 10 for quite a while.
Well, and I think this zone defense has a lot to do with it. That it makes it tough for them to do what they want to do, which is drive the lane. It's going to take some patience and then moving the basketball. And as you can see, the Yellow Jackets are really packing it in on the inside and going to force them to shoot from the outside.
Quick move, nice feed. Over a triple team. Mitchell went for it. Second try, no good either, but TY is going to hang on to the basketball.
Well, that was good ball movement that time to get it right inside on the block to Mitchell, and she just, it was a lot of traffic in there, and she tried to get it up on the glass, couldn't finish. But that's where the Tigers want to be. They want to get that ball inside.
Nice shot right there, ends the drought for Mansfield Senior. Kaya Wentz, the sophomore, up to 5 points now. Jackets, beautiful pass in transition, blew it at the rim, did Brokaw. And now Burke going to have a couple free throws.
Well, that was a great example of how you break a press. They moved the ball from one side to another, got it right to the middle of the floor, and that breaks down the defense. And great passing that time by the Lady Jackets.
Mansfield senior foul, number 30, Amani Mitchell. That's her first. Emily Burke at the line for Mount Vernon, shooting 2.
First shot off the back iron. There's a good look at Coach Doug Savage. Been doing this a long time, Effie. Got a chance to talk to him before the game. 35 plus years is what he coached here before retiring. And then they just drew him back in. Been here for about the last 7. And that's going to do it for the first 8 minutes of play here at Pete Henry Gymnasium, where Mansfield Senior right now on top, 12-8. You're watching live and free high school basketball exclusively on the OH Report.
A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. A local veteran-owned dealership caring about the community, providing quality vehicles at rock-bottom pricing. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it. Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
It's a 4-point game here inside of Pete Henry Gymnasium. Mansfield Senior on top of visiting Mount Vernon 12-8. And oh, check this out. It's fan zone time, people. Everybody that's been weighing in on Facebook, nice to see you out there. Mandy and company who like the triple. I think we've only had 1-3 so far, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Javar burns at least 1,000 calories a game, says Jamie. She might be right. Mandy again cheering on the Lady Tigers from somewhere out there in the galaxy, and Jamie again cheering on Netta, who I presume is Monetta Hillary.
Gotta love that. Gotta love the fan zone.
And here is Monetta. 3 ball. Wasn't very close, but Mansfield has done well to be the recipient of some of these loose balls that have went out of bounds in their favor.
Right. Right now they're up to 6 offensive rebounds for the Lady Tigers, and they're taking advantage of those second chance opportunities.
Wentz feeds it inside. Wyndham couldn't get it to go. Offensive rebound pulled down by Bradley. And she's fouled on the shot attempt. Kirsten Bradley, another one of these good-looking freshmen for Mansfield Senior.
Yeah, Kirsten Bradley being really active around the board. She showed a lot of versatility. She handles the ball well, is certainly capable of shooting from the perimeter. She is, as a freshman, again, just one of those dynamite 9th graders for the Tigers that's got a bright future. And, I was telling Javar some time ago, like, if we're patient with this group, they are going to be special here in the years to come. They have got some ladies with some serious talent.
Great offensive rebound by Julia Rizzo. Buys an extra possession here for the Tigers. Nice feed in the lane. Bradley off the square. She gets 2. That's just another one of those kids that just has athlete running through their veins. Maurice Bradley's daughter, the niece of one Chioke Bradley as well, the head coach of the Mansfield Senior football team for many years, and brothers, of course, him and Mo.
Yeah, and that time was a great offensive, nice pass that time by Winham. She saw, had the ball in the post. Bradley made a great cut right down the middle of the lane. She caught her, gave her a nice little shovel pass where she can catch and shoot. And those are 2 freshmen making huge contributions at the varsity level. I can remember, it had to be early 2000s when Kania Williams, Tyanda Hammock, and the Lady Tigers went to the Final Four some years ago, and I remember the buzz about them when they were young players. And, you know, I'm not going to jinx these ladies. I'm just going to say that buzz was a lot like the buzz you see here with these young girls. They really have some talent, and even in this shortened season, you can see they are well developed as far as their skill.
5 freshmen on the varsity roster for Mansfield Senior. Runner spins home there. Ellie Trace.
And that's what you have to do against pressure. You know, a lot of times people break the press and they want to set it up. You got to attack the press after you break it.
Bradley pulled the trigger on the 3 and launched out of bounds. And for Mansfield Senior, you know, once these 3 balls start to drop, I think it's going to change the complexion of the game for them because they are so aggressive off of the dribble, Effie. They just need to get an outside perimeter presence, which they've been lacking so far through a game and a quarter.
Right.
Nice look inside, but cost of travel and another turnover here. Cora Lepley is close there.
Lady Jackets up to 10 turnovers, but, you know, the thing is you could tell they are very well coached by Coach Savage. They do a good job of breaking and attacking the pressure, getting the ball to the middle so they can break down the defense, just having trouble finishing against the active Tigers.
Wentz skip pass. Bradley off the drive. Nice look to Rizzo. Versatile player Kirsten Bradley. Nice feed, and the senior, Julia, 4 points for her now.
Well, see, this is it becomes a little bit of a difference maker. You play the aggressive full court pressure, but what happens is you collect fouls, kind of in a hurry. So right now, the Yellow Jackets are already in the one-on-one. Here, going to spin the one in the go to the free throw line on every foul here for the rest of the half. So now that's going to force the Tigers to, kind of be a little less aggressive on their full court pressure.
Offensive rebound, Trace chased down her own miss. Sets up this. Lepley off the drive. And even if it's not a shooting foul, that's a 10th team foul on Mansfield Senior. So everything for the next 6 minutes, Effie.
Right.
Going to put these Jackets on the line for 2 shots.
Well, and I think what they've been doing so far, attacking this pressure, is going to set them up to be a lot of free throws. The key now for the Jackets right now is, can they knock some of them down?
Lepley gets this one.
Coming into the game for Mansfield Senior, number 22, Talena Brooks, replacing Monetta Hillary.
And that's going to come up well short.
1 point for Cora Lepley.
And the Lady Yellow Jackets 3 for 11 tonight from the free throw line. Being down 6 points, that makes a huge difference.
Kick ball right there. Try to get it back inside to Rizzo.
It is tough. The Mount Vernon's playing this zone. The ladies' hands are really active, and you've got to move the ball, get some ball reversals in order to break that down. And I think the Tigers are having a little bit of trouble with this zone, and now they're going to switch to man-to-man, trying to give them a different look here on the out-of-bounds under.
The ultimate zone buster, of course, is the 3-point shot. Mansfield only able to connect on 1 so far tonight. Gross lost the handle. Picked up by Schlosser. Nice look. Good looking backdoor cut too, but Bainbridge couldn't connect on the shot. Sets up Bradley. Going all the way in, tried to step her way around the defender. Will draw the foul. Max Schlosser stood her ground. I mean, she was in there camped for about 3 seconds, it felt like.
You know, I'm always amazed at, you know, how the game, you know, leaks down from the top level. You see the Euro step in the NBA leak down the college level, and now you're seeing a lot of high school kids. And I think I watched some video of like a fourth grader doing a Euro step in a game, but it's part of the game, and a lot of these kids have really mastered a lot of those moves, and it gives them a great advantage.
It's about the most deadly move in the arsenal. I mean, if you can step to one side, take all your momentum back the other way. Definitely a game changer. You pretty much have to have it now in your repertoire.
Right.
So another foul against Mansfield Senior with the pressure defense, and it's going to be 2 more foul shots for Mount Vernon. But as you mentioned, they haven't done very well right now from the free throw line.
At the line for Mount Vernon, number 3, Stella Bainbridge.
You know, I think at this point, the bigger concern is just racking up fouls for the Tigers, and the ladies getting close to getting 5 fouls, as opposed to, you know, the threat of the points from the free throw line as the Yellow Jackets continue to struggle.
Mansfield Senior does have a good amount of depth. I believe they've went 10 strong already tonight in this game, as Bainbridge splits the pair there. So trims the deficit down to 7. Tigers looking to add to that as the freshman Bradley backs her way inside, collects her own miss. Now Rizzo brings it out. Bradley, quick trigger. Short on the 3, rebounder ready. Poked away. Defense there by Kaya Wentz. So the Tigers dominant right now in the turnover game, winning that battle. Bradley, quick first step, had it poked away, went up with it, can't finish, foul on the floor for Julia Wyndham. There's been a couple of close calls on these and ones.
Wow, that is close. That is close.
And if the foul was on the floor, this must be a 1-and-1 then. 7th team foul on Mount Vernon.
Nice offensive rebound that time by Julia. She grabbed the ball and what looked like went up pretty strong right away. But either way, she's going to get an opportunity to shoot free throws. We're having a little bit of a discussion amongst the officials here at center court. I think we might be checking the replay, maybe.
That was something that we were discussing just before tonight's game. We need to bring a separate monitor, and I think we're going to, so the fans can turn and look at the replays with us, Effie, in real time.
I think that's good. That's a good idea.
I think they're trying to decide who the foul was on, because initially, if memory serves, the official said it was on 12, and there's no 12 in the game.
I see.
Either way, it's going to be a 1-and-1 for the freshman, Julia Wyndham.
Well, you can see right now what the Tigers are doing there. They're all off the line here a little bit. Looks like we're going to have a little bit more discussion.
They're going to be discussing anything it should be if this is an and one, you know, or at least she did make the basket, didn't she? It seems so long ago now, Effie.
I don't think she made the basket. I think he called it on the ground, if I'm not mistaken, so that would make it a 1-and-1. I think there might be a substitution issue. I think the person who fouled may have subbed out and they didn't catch it, maybe, possibly.
The last Mount Vernon foul was on number 5. Olivia Reddy.
So there is Coach Doug Savage getting an explanation from one of the referees here, and just quickly about his background and his story. As mentioned, 35 years coaching basketball and baseball for Mount Vernon. Retired in 2010, said he was happy with his retirement but still had a little bit of an itch. Some crazy circumstances led him to being asked on super short notice, can you fill in and avoid a disaster and coach our girls basketball team in 2013? I believe they won the OCC that year, or the league that they were in. I don't think they were in OCC quite yet, but won the league, won 20-plus games, and he was like, man, this is actually a pretty fun job. And been here ever since, the last 7 or 8 seasons. So,
well, and you can tell he's enjoying it, and his team is well coached, and you can just tell that from the way they execute offensively. They have a game plan that you could clearly see. They're having some trouble putting the ball in the basket, a little bit, but you can tell they are a well coached ball club.
And specifically, he was telling me a little bit before the game that he knows now how to relate to the girls and how to coach girls specifically, where, he said it's a lot more about just trying to have fun, put smiles on faces at times versus trying to nail things down. So, like you said, Coach Savage, he got a well-coached team out here, though they're in a 9-point hole. They got to solve this turnover riddle. Try to get some momentum going in their favor. Some easy shots would help, like that one right there inside Olivia Reddy.
That is great execution that time against the press. They moved the ball from side to side. They penetrated against the closeout, got the ball in the middle of the lane for a wide-open layup. That was great execution that time.
Olivia's got about half their points, 6 now for Reddy. And she's going to get out on the break here. Bainbridge feeds inside, back-to-back buckets here for the Jackets. This time it's Brokaw.
Well, I tell you what, if what happens when you continue to break down that pressure defense, it changes the defensive strategy for the coaches if they continue to give up layups, because Mount Vernon is really starting to figure it out.
Gross, pull-up jumper. Fouled on the shot attempt. This is going to go against Bainbridge.
Lady Jacket foul, number 3, Stella Bainbridge.
And I thought Bainbridge was in really good position. She just jumped when she probably shouldn't have and ended up fouling the jump shooter.
So Gross back on the line, where she has not had a great time so far this evening. And misses both here. Rebound brought in by Brokaw. Looking to push the break all on her own. And last touch, the official says, by Mount Vernon. That was close. I think that might have hit off of Wentz's foot.
Right, that gives the Lady Jackets 13 turnovers here in the first half, and that has been their Achilles heel. Those turnovers are really the difference in the ball game right now. Turnovers and free throws.
Pretty fortunate just to be down by 5, as Mansfield Senior has struggled a bit scoring here. So, you know what, Effie? This looks like 2 teams that just come out of quarantine over the last few weeks, you know?
Exactly.
Get a timeout taken by Javar Hudgens.
And I think a lot of times when you're trying to figure things out, you're early in the season, you keep your game plan pretty vanilla, and I know Coach Hudgens, I know he has a multiple array of different presses, but he's pretty much stuck with the 2-2-1 tonight, and same thing with the offense. So they're figuring it out. Each team will get a lot better as the season progresses.
And you're starting to figure out at home that you can get on our fan zone. Check out all the comments that are coming in right now on Facebook, including Garrett's there, cheering on the Yellow Jackets. Carrie has a difference of opinion in who she would like to win tonight. So love our fans. Keep dropping us lines. Let us know who you're cheering for, where you're watching from. Big plays that you liked, all the above. We'll bring up Fan Zone a little bit later in the game. Brown too strong with the shot. There were 3 Tigers in the area that could have got an offensive rebound. Instead, it's out of bounds. It's going to be jacket ball. Kirsten Bradley checking back in. Gross is going to take a seat for Mansfield Senior. And that has been the problem pass for the Jackets basically all night. Tigers take it away again. And an offensive foul is going to go against White down in the paint. Wow. It's 3 fouls now on Dakaya.
Well, I'm not sure if that was a foul or he called some kind of violation.
Yeah, you're right. No foul was assessed to Dakaya there. Okay. It's Mount Vernon ball.
Right. Absolutely. Early season for everybody. Wow.
Yeah, turnover woes continue for the Jackets.
And you expect that, and what the Tigers are trying to do is just speed the game up. Sometimes you don't press all the time for steals. You just want to get the game pace in your favor, and that's exactly what they're doing. And Mount Vernon is not comfortable playing at that pace at this point.
Rizzo attacking, runner,
Nice.
Falls. Good looking shot there. She's got 6 now. Another nice look for Mount Vernon in transition. McKenna Brokaw delivers again. Quick shot off the front rim. Rebound brought down by Reddy. So we are approaching the 1-minute mark here in quarter number 2. And Coach Savage beside himself over there.
Yeah. It's just so, because you can tell what Coach Savage is trying to get done. He's trying to get his girls to attack the pressure, not just break it. And what happens is that, once you have to speed up, you are going to naturally increase your turnovers. But right now, 16 turnovers with just over a minute left to play in the second quarter is still just too high. And what they have to do is if they come out in the second half to take better care of the basketball, figure that out. This could be a different game because right now that is the difference.
16 turnovers for some teams. I mean, you'd be disappointed with that for a game, and a long way to go here.
Yes.
Bradley left all alone from the land of 3. It rims out. Rizzo got her back. Can't put it home. Wyndham, though, with the offensive board. Kicks it to White. And 3 shots for the Tigers. All of them come up empty. Oh. 17 turnovers now for the Jackets.
Right now the Tigers are sitting on 12 offensive boards. And, that provides so much extra offense. And that's a big part of the game plan is to get extra opportunities off the miss. Nice shot.
That's Kaya Wentz from outside. Now down to 25 seconds. Another good-looking bounce pass inside. And Nevaeh Williams, sophomore, delivers with the left hand. Rizzo missed everything that time. White battling inside with Bainbridge, forces the jump ball.
Well, I think you called it earlier, Brian. If the Tigers can start to hit a couple outside shots, that really could blow this game open. They hit one last possession, and they're not shy about taking them. That's for sure.
No question about that. This should be the last shot of the half, and it will be no good from Julia Wyndham. And that takes us into the break, where the Tigers will head into the locker room with a 6-point cushion, 26-20 in this OCC showdown against Mount Vernon. We'll step away and be back, break down the first half for you, get you ready for the final 2 quarters of play. Keep it locked here. You are watching live and free high school basketball exclusively on the OH.Report.
A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. A local veteran-owned dealership caring about the community, providing quality vehicles at rock-bottom pricing. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it. Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
It's halftime here inside of fabulous Pete Henry Gymnasium, where right now it is the Mansfield Tigers on top of the visiting Mount Vernon Yellow Jackets. And there it is again, dropping out of the sky like it always does. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it is Fan Zone, and it's a lot of Tigers fans out there. So what's the buzz out in Mount Vernon? Where are you at, Jackets fans? We want to hear from you too. But we definitely see the Mansfield Senior, they've got a ton of fan support out there watching in Facebook land. A lot of people cheering on the Tigers, hoping to see them collect their first win of the season as they are just getting into action. Their first game Monday night, looking to go 1-1 on the campaign, though we do have one gentleman chiming in there cheering on Mount Vernon. But a whole lot of TY, Effie. I mean, it's well represented out there.
Absolutely. And, I think the Tiger fans are, a lot of them are hurt. They can't be here for the game. But, again, we're glad to bring you the broadcast here and get you a chance almost like you're here.
We try to make it as lifelike as we possibly can here on the OH.Report. At least make it fun for all of you fans out there watching in virtual land on Facebook and YouTube. So appreciate all the support and a lot of people cheering on Miss Wyndham out there. Eddie. And there's Mandy again. I believe that we already saw her. So thanks for checking in on the Fan Zone. And like I said, Mount Vernon fans, we want to see you represented out there as well, too. So make your voice heard here in half number 2. We'll step away, take one more quick timeout. We'll be back with first half stats. Get you ready for half number 2. Keep it locked and loaded right here on the OH.Report. Live and free action returns in just a moment. Here on the fabulous campus of Mansfield Senior High, we are inside of Pete Henry Gym, and that's inside of the game right there. Halftime stats up on your screen. Nobody shot particularly well, Effie, but the turnovers, such a problem for Mount Vernon. It's allowed Mansfield Senior to at least get 12 more attempts.
Right. And I think what Coach Savage probably went over that entire halftime period was just taking care of the basketball. And you can tell they're just getting sped up by this Tiger pressure. But if they take a little bit better care of the basketball, give themselves an opportunity, the worst things about turnovers is not that so much that you give the other team the ball. It's just that you don't get an opportunity to score. So that's the problem with turnovers, because they have done, when they do get opportunities to score, they've done a good job breaking down this pressure. But it's been feast or famine. They either get a layup or it's a turnover. So I'm sure Coach Savage wants to shrink that percentage and put that more in their favor. And if I'm the Tigers with Coach Hudgens, I'm going to continue to do what we're doing, speed them up, and continue to get the ball inside the lane. And I think that they've been playing well offensively, taking good shots. But it is that defensive pressure that has made the difference in this ball game.
Oh, and hello there, cell phone, and that's one way that you can watch the OH.Report. A lot of other ways, too. Get out your tablet. You can watch on your desktop, your laptop, pull it up on your big screen when you're on YouTube. So many ways to take in the OH.Report. This is just one of them. So however you are taking in the action, we appreciate that you have found us here live and free tonight at Mansfield Senior High School. My name is Brian. This is Effie. We're going to be with you for the rest of the contest here tonight, and I hope for both sides' sakes that it gets cleaned up a little bit. It's certainly for Mount Vernon. You're right. It has been feast or famine. I think that was a great way to put it because they fill the lanes quite nicely.
Oh, yeah.
They've got some easy buckets. They haven't really had to work that hard offensively. Right. They just can't get into their sets.
Absolutely.
So at least here they get a start with the ball from midcourt, but, man, right on cue. 6 seconds in, they give it away. Rizzo back at the other end. Goes back iron, and Lepley secures the board. We'll see if Mount Vernon can get into their offensive set. It's a unique way to do it, but they are going to get a jump shot at least.
Really aggressive defense. Takaya White is a pest on defense. Really quick hands and quick feet.
Kaya Wentz, quick trigger. Buries another 3-ball. And play will be stopped here momentarily. Looks like Coach Hudgens is pretty upset about something. I think this is
delay a game.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Takaya White, I remember in the first half, she knocked the ball out of the net after a made shot. So this would be her second warning and should be a technical foul if I know what I'm talking about here. As you see, there's Coach Javar Hudgens, always perspirating, always active. And, you know, he's taught my daughter's teams, the Lady Cavs, for a few seasons, and hopefully now that he's been the varsity coach for a couple of years, he's toned it down. How many teams does this guy coach?
Well, he is the hardest working man in high school sports. I will tell you that, and youth sports, by the way. He runs the Youth Cavs organization, which is extremely successful, which has really produced many of these talented young ladies we're seeing tonight. So kudos to Coach Hudgens. He is a star amongst youth sports here in Mansfield.
No question about that. Runs his own league in the summertime. Coaches not just Lady Cavs, but the boys Cavs youth basketball team, and going to these AAU tournaments. It is a treat to watch him just run in and out of gyms and catch, 2 quarters for one game and then go over and find another one of his other teams.
Well, he lives for it, and that's the thing. For him, it's not work, and that's what it is whenever you find what you're called to do. It doesn't seem like work, and you can tell this is calling, and he enjoys it, and these ladies and even the young guys he coaches really respond well to him.
Well, right now he's got his Lady Tigers up by 9, and they're blocking shots to Amani Mitchell. Doing some nice work there in the paint. Rizzo off the bounce, poked away, quick hands by Reddy. And she's got it for an easy one here. That's the offense that Mount Vernon has been producing. They've been very successful when they've got out in transition.
Right. It seems like, the Tigers would have a huge lead, but this is right now only a 7-point game. A couple more possessions like that, this thing could get interesting.
Certainly trying to get it to Mitchell down on the block. Bradley misfires here, comes up short with the 3-ball attempts. And now again, there's Reddy wide open. Brokaw elected to take it in herself and bailed out a bit, lost the handle. Took a bump, though, from Mitchell.
Mansfield Senior foul on number 30, Amani Mitchell. And it's her second
Yeah, and I think the Yellow Jackets, their game plan has been the same all night. Get out in transition. It's just that they have not been able to take care of the ball. And again, having more trouble with the ball handling.
Case in point right there, leads to a jump ball. As Wentz got down on the floor, caused the tie-up.
You know, the good thing, if I'm coaching this game on both sides, is there are great things I could take away from both sides, things you can get better at. You watch the film with your ladies, and you'll be able to show them where they can make better choices, better decisions.
Ill-advised pass that time by the freshman. Lisa ready again. How is she getting so wide open? She doesn't care. She's off the square for 2. 4 points here for the Jackets for Reddy. She's the first player in double figures for them. And it forces a timeout from Mansfield Senior as Mount Vernon has trimmed the gap down to 5.
Well, and I think what Coach Hudgens is talking to his ladies about now is sprinting back on defense. It is, you know, getting later in the game, and we talked earlier about conditioning at this point in the second half is really where that shows, because it gets a little bit harder when you miss a shot to sprint back than it was in the first half. And right now the Yellow Jackets are really getting out and running hard and finishing at the rim. You know, back-to-back layups now for them, and right away Coach Hudgens called that timeout. He can see that if this becomes a trend, it'll be a tight game here in the second half.
And the conditioning, when you're on quarantine, I've had an opportunity to speak with a handful of coaches about this. Really challenging, of course, because you're not allowed to have physical contact with the players. Right. There's only so much you can do over a Zoom, and that's something that Javar was saying, that they tried to do organized workouts via Zoom. Yeah. And after the first one, they didn't try it again.
Yeah, that is difficult. I mean, it's right now, you know, being around education and having a daughter in high school, it's tough enough just to get them to go to class via Zoom. So working out via Zoom is got to be a challenge.
So here come the Tigers out of the timeout. They're going to get it inside. Nice look down on the block. Misfired from Mitchell.
Well,
but Brokaw stepped out.
That was a set play out of the timeout. Coach Hudgens wanted to get the ball inside to Mitchell. She was open on the last possession, and they missed her. But that time he called a set play. They ran a cross screen to get it to her, and she got a good look, just couldn't knock it down.
Tigers fortunate that McKenna Brokaw had a shoestring out of bounds there, so they're going to get possession back. 5:33 to go here in the third quarter. Rizzo has to go up top with it to Bradley. Inside, they squeeze it. And Amani missed it at the 10. Rebound by Brokaw. Coming back the other way in traffic. Might have got away with the travel. Lisa the open 3, and it splashes home the first triple of the night for Mount Vernon, and it's Stella Bainbridge from outside.
That is nice ball movement, and Stella stepped right in and shot that ball with confidence. Really good-looking shot.
And don't blink now, Tigers fans, but it's just a one-possession game when it seems like you've been dominating. That one well off the mark from Bradley. Lisa the leak out. Bainbridge looking for more. Short arms it. Offensive rebound in the putback, no good from Trace. But Bradley gives it away, trying to find Rizzo. Some rushed play right now for Senior High. And it's allowed the Jackets to get right back in this game. Lepley off the bounce, leads to an open look, ready. Right into the hands of Bainbridge. She tries another 3. And it's a couple of offensive rebounds now. Another triple on the way. Reddy can't hit. And now a tie-up. Interesting possession right there, and no points awarded to anybody.
Well, you know, the offensive rebounds, and this is some good substitutions right here. And I think Coach Hudgens is seeing little bit of fatigue on the part of the Lady Tigers, and both teams actually, giving up those offensive rebounds.
At least for Javar does have that nice depth as he gets in some quality players there off the bench. The senior guard Lepley off the attack. Going to go to the line as Gross fouled her on the attempt. That's going to be her second foul.
Well, and the one thing that you can see that Coach Savage is trying to get done with his girls is like, hey, we got to penetrate the lane, and then we can kick out for open looks. And you can tell they're making a really concerted effort to get the ball inside, and then they'll kick it out. If they have an open look, they'll shoot it. But they are really trying to attack the Tiger interior defense.
0 for 2 from the line. But another foul against Senior High as Reddy collected the offensive board and got pushed to the floor.
Tigers up to 14 fouls already in the quarter.
None so far for the Jackets. That one comes up short by Brokaw. But, man, how about the offensive glass work here over the last minute or so by the Jackets?
Looks like 4 offensive rebounds here in the last 2 possessions for the Yellow Jackets.
Wentz brings it across the timeline, examining the defense. Looks like Mount Vernon sitting back in zone now.
And they are going to invite the Tigers to shoot those perimeter shots. They're going to invite that and try to clog the lane on the drive.
Wyndham decides to come over, set a screen. Looks like there's some confusion amongst the Mansfield players about what to try to run here and how to attack.
You know, when you got limited practice time, you spend a lot of time running your man offensive sets, and one of the things you don't do a whole lot of is your zone. And your zone stuff is not about so much plays as it is movement. And right now, a lot of standing by the Lady Tigers, and they're going to have to start moving a little bit to break down the zone.
Wentz has to kick it back to the corner to Wyndham. Now Bradley penetrates. Wide open from the top of the key, and bank is open. Effie, late night here in Mansfield.
Well, that time, Kirsten Bradley done a great job. She penetrated, broke down the defense, and kicked out to Wentz for the wide open 3. That is the way to break down a zone.
Can they match it at the other end? The Jackets cannot. Off rim 2 times from Burke. And now Bradley, contact, left hand, bucket, count it. Another look here, Kirsten Bradley. Strong move. A lot of contact there from the backside from Bainbridge, and strong enough to fight through it, get the basket.
I will tell you, with the skill level and the bloodlines on this team, these young ladies have, again, a tremendous future ahead of them.
No question about it. Awesome look in transition. This is where Mount Vernon has been shining when the Jackets can buzz out there, fill those lanes. They've been pretty good. Wentz uses the screen from Brown. Now to the corner in Wyndham. Gross, runner. Couldn't get the soft touch. Schlosser back the other way, got hit on the floor, and called for a travel.
It's a tough call.
There's no other way to slice that one.
Tough call. But again, the Yellow Jackets being really aggressive in transition and really forcing the Tigers to sprint back. And when they don't sprint back, they give up layups. So right now, the Yellow Jackets, that's their game plan, trying to get turnovers and rebounds, get out and run, and get easy buckets against the Tiger defense.
Wentz got picked off. Bainbridge, coast to coast, and one. Big play right there by Stella Bainbridge to lead the passing lane, get out on the run, and finish at the rim.
Well, Stella really jumped this in the passing lanes, anticipated the pass, stole the ball, and went down and finished strong. Nice play.
Second foul on Kaya Wentz, 15 foul against the Tigers.
You got a ball game here.
Jackets tightening things up, 34-32. And you can tell they got a little extra pep in their step right now. Bainbridge read the passing lane again there.
Yeah, she is. They switched that time for one possession and played straight man-to-man. And Bainbridge really done a good job of pressuring the basketball. She was all over Rizzo, the ball handler, that time. And here comes Hillary for the Tigers to restore some order in the ball handling area because they were struggling a little bit.
She'll fill in for Wentz, heads over to the bench with a game-high 14 points right now. Now Bradley, everything opened up there, missed an easy one. Brokaw races back the other way. That one spins out. Pace really starting to pick up here at the end of the third, under a minute to go. Hillary off the screen. She goes off glass. 2 shots will be awarded to her from the free throw line as Brokaw hit her on the shot.
Yeah, a lot of quickness that time. It's almost impossible to stay in front of Hillary once she gets the ball on the ball reversal. She puts her head down, and she's going to beat most people to the lane with her quickness and had enough strength to get the ball up on the glass.
Netta comes up short on the first shot attempt. So 0 for 2 on that trip. Keeps the Jackets down by just 2. See if they can tie it up here on this J. Comes off the iron from Christopher. And now the Tigers did have numbers in transition. Now Hillary lost it, but back out into the hands of Rizzo. Leaves Bradley wide open from the corner, but she comes up short. Brokaw with the fake and ties things up at the rim. Mount Vernon has come storming back here. We're all square at 34. See if Hillary can give the Tigers the lead. She cannot, and that is going to do it for 3/4 of action. Money time on the way here from Pete Henry Gymnasium as we are tied at 34. You're watching live and free high school basketball exclusively on the OH Report.
A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. A local veteran-owned dealership caring about the community, providing quality vehicles at rock-bottom pricing. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it. Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
We are back inside of Pete Henry Gymnasium where Fan Zone again dropping out of the sky, and Tigers fans still weighing in, letting us know that you are hoping that Mansfield gets a victory tonight. And check this out, Effie James in the house says, one Teresa James. Hello, Teresa. Stephanie Wyndham cheering on the Tigers as well. Maurice Bradley, pretty sure that I saw him here in the gym, but also on Fan Zone.
Right, sweet.
Pulling double duty tonight. Jonathan Bessick, I remember a former player, maybe of yours back in the day, Effie?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So all Tigers fans out there.
Representing.
We'll see if TY can pull it off for you guys as we are under 8 minutes to play, and the tide's starting to turn a little bit here. Though Mansfield Senior forces the jump ball, but Cora Lepley, nice hands with the initial steal.
Yeah, the activity of Mount Vernon has really picked up here in the second half. They are really active with their hands and switch to this man-to-man defense. Oh, my.
Get out of my way, says Bradley as she trucked her way into the lane. Didn't draw the foul, missed the shot, but how about this look in transition? Beautiful dish from Brokaw Burke. Gives Mount Vernon the lead.
Wow.
See if Mansfield can calm things down with a basket here. Instead, it's going to be a tie-up and be jacket ball.
Well, I think Mount Vernon has figured out the weakness in this Tiger team right now is transition defense. And they are getting out, filling the lanes, and the difference is now they're finishing. They're finishing around the rim and getting points and have taken the lead here.
And for the Tigers, where they found most of their success is speeding up Mount Vernon, and
Right.
you see them sitting back now in man-to-man defense. Interesting.
Well, as you know, the Mount Vernon's going to retain possession, but I think the difference is, we talked about it earlier, conditioning. And you know, that pressure defense and playing fast, it all feels good, but it can backfire if your conditioning doesn't stay the same.
Three ball falls to the bottom. Emily Burke, who had the big night last night, 17 points in the win over East Knox, got 5 now after she delivers that triple.
And now the Yellow Jackets are doing a good job. They're switching up defenses now back to the 1-2-2 zone, switching from man-to-man to zone almost every other possession, trying to keep the Tigers off balance. Nice shot.
Hillary matches at the other end. Big shot right there to end the bleeding for Mansfield. Offensive rebound off the miss from Brokaw. Third opportunity. And it's good this time. Mount Vernon starting to find their groove now.
Basket by number 5, Olivia Ray.
Hillary feels like she's trying to take the team on her back right now here in the early goings of the fourth.
That was like you said, that was a huge shot by Hillary last time down. But right now, the Tigers are really struggling with their transition defense, and Mount Vernon's doing a great job of connecting passes from one side to the other. And transition defense is tough when you got a team that can pass cross court and then make layups, and that's what's happening right now against the Tigers.
Just looks like a completely different team than we saw in the first half for Mount Vernon. As Mitchell gets tied up inside, fighting for her miss.
Well, and you can tell Imani Mitchell has got really good post moves inside. She just can't get the ball to fall. She has had a couple of really good looks inside, just haven't been able to get them to fall.
That's an open jumper. Can't can that one. And all of a sudden the Jackets, they've got their biggest lead of the night at 4. Looking to add to it. Lepley nearly thread the needle in there, out of bounds. Off the dribble from Reddy.
You know, that is their 20th turnover on the night. But see, the difference between those turnovers, you can take an aggressive, that is a bounce pass, trying to get a bounce pass inside to a teammate that was just a little bit too hard. That's a difference between the other turnovers they've had.
Nice move inside. And that one goes down by Julia Wyndham. Sophomore with her second basket of the night. Now the Tigers defense comes through. Wentz with the theft, left hand, won't fall. Tipped out by Hillary. Tough break there by Kaya.
Tigers trying to turn up the intensity here off defensively, trying to force more turnovers and get some easy buckets because they're struggling scoring against this Mount Vernon set defense. So if they can get out in transition and get some easy baskets, that'd be the best way to get back in this ball game.
That's what had Mansfield Senior on top by nearly double digits, was that pressure defense, forcing the Jackets to speed up a little bit. It looks like the Tigers are starting to get back into it, so that's why Mount Vernon decided to call a timeout, talk some things over, calm his girls down, his Coach Savage, and, you know, just a totally different feeling game here from the first half where Mount Vernon couldn't get it together. Offense looked like such a struggle, Effie. Now all of a sudden they're running the lanes beautifully. They got girls coming in off the bounce. They're moving the ball around. So they've discovered a few things, I think, like you mentioned, starting to figure out the Tigers' defense a little bit.
Well, the biggest difference is, you know, by this time in the first half, they were already at double-digit turnovers. Right now, here in the fourth quarter, they've got 4 turnovers here. So that is the difference. They've been taking much better care of the basketball, and with that comes more opportunities to score, and they've been taking advantage of it. They've hit a couple threes, countless amounts of just wide-open layups because they haven't turned the ball over. Now, here they're having a little bit of trouble with this Tiger full-court pressure, but that's been the difference so far. They've been taking a lot better care of the basketball.
Yeah, only 3 second-half turnovers. And they break the press here with the bounce. It's Bainbridge. Now coming middle and called for the travel was Burke as she got tied up trying to run through the paint.
But again, that you can see the game plan is to attack that basket, attack the rim, move the basketball, and the Yellow Jackets are playing with tempo, pace. Even when they get in the half court, they're moving the ball. They are not slowing down and setting up plays. They are playing with ball and people movement, which makes them tough to guard. Now they're back in their 1-2-2 defense.
See how the Tigers elect to attack here. Wentz, nice look, Hillary. Lost the handle off the drive. Bit lucky there to hang on to possession as Brokaw tipped it out of bounds.
Well, right there is exactly how you have to break down that zone. Great swing passes, and Hillary with the drive against the closeout was a really good offensive move, just off the handle on it.
Wyndham tried to thread it inside, and it's going to be a foul against Mount Vernon. Just their 4th team foul. Third personal foul against Olivia Reddy. Wentz steps into an open look, came up short. Now the Jackets spreading things out, forcing the Tigers defense to come out and guard.
Well, and I think they see that against open lanes, they could drive. Oh, boy.
Looked like a fair amount of contact there on Schlosser going to the cup.
Wow. And you could tell that, you know, what they want to do is spread the Tigers out. They've had a lot of success driving the lanes, so they want to pull the Tigers out on the perimeter and try to drive around and get into the interior.
Somehow Mount Vernon hanging on to possession here. It's a tough pass inside, then pushed out to the corner. Three seconds in the lane, perhaps?
Yeah, I think it was 3 seconds.
Tigers want a timeout. It's going to be a full timeout from Coach Hudgens as this team now trails by 2. Getting down to crunch time here.
Yeah. Well, now it's time to you've got to execute at this point. You know, you want to play and maximize your possessions. You know, this series you want to come down on offense and really get a good look. whether it's an open motion, whether it's a set play. You just want to give yourself a chance to get a good look. And for the Tigers, it's important that they don't give a quick shot that leads to a run out for Mount Vernon, which has been happening. They get a run out and they get wide open layup. So even if they do miss a shot, they got to be able to get back and set their defense up.
We've set up Fan Zone once again. I mean, probably everybody's favorite part of the contest, of course. Be a part of the action. And there's a Jackets fan out there cheering on Mount Vernon. More Mandy. He's been very active on the Facebook feed tonight. Eddie would like to see his team rebound.
Yes, sir.
And Brittany cheering on her niece, Kirsten, who's done some nice things here tonight. So senior high with the basketball as we're just past the midway point now of the final quarter of regulation. Tigers locked up in a tight one, looking for their first win of the year. That's a nice feed inside by Hillary. And it's buckets from Julia Wyndham.
And, yeah, they set up a set play that time, cross screen for Julia Wyndham, and she finished nice and strong around the rim. Nice set play that time, called by Coach Hudgens.
Lepley tried to thread the needle to Brokaw, tipped away. The Tigers come up with a turnover. Looking for back-to-back scores now and regain the lead. It's going to be White. Jump shot comes up short. Wentz down to the floor, forces the tie-up. Possession arrow in favor of Mount Vernon.
You know, Tigers had really good success going inside last possession. I'm sure Coach Hudgens would like to see that again, get an easy look inside.
White called for the foul, riding Lepley there a little bit.
Kyle White has got really good feet, you know, good movement, a little bit too much body that time on the ball handler, but you can tell she has got a knack for on-ball defense.
Block shot there on the perimeter by Wyndham. And then that one misses into the hands of White. She's got a one-on-4. Is she going to take it? She is. And had to barrel through the defender. Her second foul in about 15, 20 seconds here. And I think that's going to force Coach Hudgens to put White on the bench.
That's tough for the guy. She was really being aggressive, picks up her fourth foul, and, you know, takes away, you know, Tigers' best ball defender. She's really making things happen on the ball.
So we've got another timeout. Another full timeout. This time it's Mount Vernon that wants to talk things over. All locked up here, 41 apiece. And it's been, in a lot of ways, a tale of two halves where Mansfield Senior, first half, great defensive pressure. Mount Vernon didn't seem like they could handle it. They've settled down a little bit. And now we've got a good game down the stretch, so it's just a matter of who's going to step up and make some shots, Effie. I mean, shot making, they got some kids out here on both sides that have the ability, but who's going to come up clutch and actually find the bottom?
Well, and even more than that, Brian, I would say that it's going to come down to shot selection. Who's going to take the best shots? There's going to be shots available for everyone, but at this point in the game, down inside the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, your shot selection has got to be really good. It's winning time. So right now, as coaches and players, you've got to know who you want taking shots, where they want to take them, and what their strengths are. This is not the time to be taking shots just because you're open. You want to take a shot that's a good shot, and then you got to continue, like the Tigers, to attack the offensive boards. Now, in the first half, they had 13 offensive boards. So far, they've only got 2 here in the second half. So Yellow Jackets is doing a much better job of cleaning that up.
It's been balanced scoring for Mount Vernon, who turns it over here, though. They've got 3 players with at least 9 points in the game, as Bradley with the left hand will not finish, leading to a leak out. Brokaw, jump stop, and she's got the basket in the lead.
Has been the story of the second half. Run out layups for Mount Vernon.
Brokaw now into double figures, but Kaya Wentz with the clutch triple right there, leading all scorers with 17. I think that's her fourth made three, if I'm not mistaken.
That is a big-time shot right there for Kaya.
Kid has been dynamite from long range here in this game. Nobody else filling it from outside. And here it is. One more look off the screen. Confident looking stroke right there.
Absolutely. Nice screen up top by Julia Winham, and she stepped in and knocked it down.
Now here's Kaya reading it. Almost came up with a turnover. And now Lepley gets fouled on the drive. It's going to go against Julia Rizzo. And that's the 8th team foul against Mansfield Senior, so a 1-and-1 will be the scenario here for Cora. Lepley ties things up with the first. Comes up short on the second. So the score remains square at 44 all. So we're approaching the last 90 seconds. Kirsten Bradley follows her own miss, tips it out. Tried to feed her inside again, did Wyndham. And Coach Hudgens didn't like the unselfishness there. Man, Bradley's had a lot of shots in the paint that she's just missed.
Some open shots, and you know she's a talented enough player to make those shots, just not falling. Again, a cross-court pass for a layup. That has been the story. Cross-court pass for a layup.
Brokaw now with the baker's dozen. Most of those coming here in the second half. Hillary took the bump from Schlosser. That was the foul to give for Mount Vernon. The next one will put Mansfield Senior in the bonus.
Yeah, right now, if you're the Tigers, you do want to get some ball movement. You want to get the ball inside, but you got to get a quality shot here.
Tigers trailing by 2. Can they change that here? Bradley again inside. Tied up.
Foul call.
Lepley's covering her mouth. I mean, she can't believe it. She's stunned. I think we had a better look than the official that made the call did too, Effie. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, that was a tough call.
So 30-second timeout now. When we return back to the action, we're going to have Kirsten Bradley on the line for a 1-and-1.
Kirsten Bradley has, again, she's been really active, like you mentioned before. She's had some opportunities that just, wouldn't fall for her. Right now she's got a chance to step up and tie this game up from the free throw line. But this game has been, like you said, it's just been a tale of two halves. And right now where it looks like Mount Vernon has so much more confidence than they had early. It seems like they were a bit timid and afraid of the pressure. Now they're attacking Mansfield Senior pressure and trying to get layups, whereas they've got the Tigers second-guessing their shots at this point.
Don't have an exact shooting percentage in front of me, but Mansfield Senior can't be much better than about 15% here in this second half.
Yeah.
They have really struggled scoring the basketball, so if they can get some cheap ones here at the free throw line, these would be big, of course.
Well, they are 5 of 25 for this half.
Approximately 20%. And Bradley goes 0% on that trip. 2 big misses. Now we'll see if Brokaw elects to slow things down. She will. And all Mount Vernon's got to do is milk this clock if they can.
Ooh.
That foul's going to go against Julia Wyndham. Got her on the arm. Big make right there from Cora Lepley. Buys her a second and a chance to make this a 2-possession game.
Well, again, right now, with 35 seconds to go, you know, Tigers just got to come down and still. Down 3. Oh.
Followed her own miss, nearly saved it back in play, and she was the only one out there for Mount Vernon.
Wow. A missed opportunity. Real missed opportunity.
So trailing by 3. See what Mansfield Senior comes up with here. Monetta Hillary off the bounce. Kicks it. Rizzo didn't even think about it. Rebound to Wyndham, and she puts it home. Julia Wyndham pulls the Tigers back within one. 15.6 ticks remaining. Coming down to the wire here inside Pete Henry tonight.
Yeah, you know, and I thought that was a good look for Rizzo. She stepped into it, just didn't knock it down, but a good offensive rebound, and it gives the Tigers an opportunity here. They're going to have to get a quick stop. It's you know, it's about their, you know, what Coach Hudgens wants to do here. He could foul. You know, right now the Yellow Jackets have not shot the ball well from the free throw line. You could foul right away and try to get the ball back and get another possession. Or you could try to play solid and force a quick shot and get a rebound. But either way, you know, it's about making something happen defensively. You cannot allow Mount Vernon to come down and run a set or run a play. You've got to make something happen right now defensively. And you could do that right away by fouling right away and extending the game and get more possessions, or you can try to force a quick shot and get a rebound.
Tigers have made some substitutions, getting 2 of their better defenders back on the floor, into Kaya White and Gross as well back into the mix. And with 15 seconds, you definitely do have some time, only trailing by 1, to go for the steal here. You don't have to foul right away. We'll see how patient the Tigers elect to be as White broke things up there. Looked like a defensive back. Took about a second off the clock.
Yeah, he's trying to substitute offense, defense, but they've got to come in now. Yeah, they've got to come in. He wanted to keep his defensive players in, but they were already at the table, so now they've got to come in. He may want to pull them back. He's kind of out of kilter now.
Mount Vernon's going deep. They got the hookup. Brokaw fouled on the shot by Rizzo.
Really nice pass, right in stride.
And I don't know how you can say that's a foul on the floor. But it doesn't matter. It's the 10th team foul against Mansfield Senior. So it's going to be 2 shots regardless. Fun officiated game tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
The lefty could not channel her inner clutch gene right there. So still just a 1-point game.
Yellow Jackets 4 of 9 from the free throw line here in the second half. You know, although that's an improvement from the first half, but still at this point, these are clutch here down the stretch.
It's a timeout taken by Mansfield Senior. Of course, talking about all the different scenarios, what happens if they miss it, if they make it. And regardless, Tigers only going to need a 2.
Right.
Worst case scenario here.
I would be, willing to bet you may see some kind of ball screen or just some kind of an isolation for Hillary with the ball in her hands and allow her to penetrate and maybe find someone underneath or finish herself. Right now she is unguardable with the ball in her hands. So, maybe you spread the floor, allow her to operate and draw defense and kick for possibly an open layup if they come to help.
Everybody back defensively for Mount Vernon.
And if you're Mount Vernon here, I think you pack the lane, and if the Tigers are going to beat you, you make sure Wentz is covered and you make somebody else shoot a perimeter shot.
So it'll be a 2-point cushion here for the Jackets. Back defensively. Hillary gets cut off. She's got to kick it out. Wentz off the drive. Turned back. Brokaw coming over from the weak side.
Nice
swatted
block.
it out.
That is a big-time block for Brokaw.
Now the Tigers really short on time. They want – actually, Mount Vernon's going to call the timeout here.
Well, that was a huge block. She's done a great job of keeping her body away to avoid the foul. Got her fingertips on the ball. That was a big-time block and puts the Tigers in a position now where they've got to – Coach Hudgens has got to draw up a scoring out-of-bounds play right now, not just to get it in. He's got to draw up a play to score here from this out-of-bounds play.
This is where you earn your checks as a high school coach right here. What can Javar draw up, I imagine, on the fly here?
Yeah.
Not too many times you'll practice less than 2 seconds setting up where, we'll see if they try to get a 3 ball. Potentially Kaya Wentz, who I believe has knocked down 4 here tonight, might be a good idea.
Yeah. I think, though, being the conservative approach is to get some movement underneath. They've got some ladies and Jalea Winham and Kirsten Bradley who have shown they can really do some damage inside, post up. Maybe a cross screen has worked well for them earlier in the game, run a cross screen to get them a look underneath the basket. But if all those fails, you want to win this thing with one shot. You get Wentz open. See if she can knock one down.
Here we go. Hillary to trigger it inbounds. Gets it in. Wyndham at the horn. No good. She came up short, so the Jackets done. Mansfield Senior here in the second half as they get their act together and come away with a 48-46 win, their second in as many nights. And it's got to be a bit of heartbreak for Coach Hudgens and his squad as they looked so good in the first half and just came unraveled a bit here over the last couple of quarters.
Yeah, they played well early, and I think you got to give credit to Mount Vernon because they figured out how to take care of the basketball. Now, they still had their share of turnovers in the second half, but it wasn't nearly as bad as it was in the first. And I think just as the turnovers was the difference in the first half, their lack of turnovers was the difference in the second half and how they were able to get open layups and finish in the open court. That really propelled them to this win.
All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back. Post-game stats, break down the competition for you today, and we'll have an interview lined up with our player of the game. Weigh in on the comments section. Let us know who you think should be tonight's player of the game, and we will get an interview with that player coming up right after this.
A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. A local veteran-owned dealership caring about the community, providing quality vehicles at rock-bottom pricing. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it. Daisy the Doodle says, thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
We are now joined by our player of the game, brought to you tonight by Baker's Collision Repair. It is McKenna Brokaw, who came through with some big-time buckets in the second half, and then also the huge block shot there at the end. First, take me through that play, because obviously that was a bit of a game changer.
I was a little nervous because I was starting to get into foul trouble in the second half, so it was really nerve-wracking because you never know if they're going to call a foul or not. But I got very lucky, so it really helped us.
First half, you girls had 17 turnovers. The Tigers' pressure, it really gave you a lot of problems. You figured it out over the last couple of quarters. In your opinion, what changed on the floor?
I think it was the energy. We realized we didn't want to be down at the half, and it really just showed us that we need to pick it up. And we know we're better than this. We've been sitting in quarantine for 2 weeks, and we know we have more potential than what we played the first half, so it really helped us pick it up.
Take me more through that. How challenging is it? Coach said that you've had about 3 practices in 3 weeks to come out here and play in full-fledged competition, actually on back-to-back nights now.
Yeah, it was tough. We're all not out of shape, but we've been sitting around for a while, and we're still down 2 key players, and so it's really hard to come out without a starter in our first sub. So it's been tough recently.
Tell me about your own personal conditioning, because the holidays, of course, just rolled through. There's a lot of sugar and eating that goes along. And then, like you mentioned, you've been in quarantine.
Yeah.
How did your body feel after tonight?
It was rough playing most of the game, but I try to keep running even when we are in quarantine. There's not much else to do.
All right, so now it's 2 straight wins for you girls. Well, what's next? I mean, what's the next step for this team? Do you feel like you're getting better even though you haven't had a chance to practice much?
Yeah, every day I see improvements since we've came back, and we're at Lexington Saturday. We're hoping to win again.
All right, congratulations, McKenna, on a comeback win tonight here on the road. Back-to-back wins now for Mount Vernon. McKenna Brokaw, our Baker's Collision player of the game.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll step away. We'll welcome Effie back right after this, break down some final stats, and wrap things up from Pete Henry Gymnasium.
A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. A local veteran-owned dealership caring about the community, providing quality vehicles at rock-bottom pricing. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it. Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
Impressive second half comeback here for Mount Vernon as they knock off Mansfield Senior 48-46. That is your final score. The Jackets 2 wins in 2 nights, and they've got a little bit of confidence on their side now. Brian Skowronski, Effie James with you to break down what we just saw here. And, you know, Effie, we saw the tide turn in the second half when the turnover battle, the differential, 17 for the Jackets in the first half. They really calmed things down in the second. And when they were able to get in the flow, I mean, they're a pretty good-looking team, especially in transition.
They really are, and you can tell, again, they had some really good game plan coming in, but the Tiger pressure kind of threw them out of that. But in the second half, they regained that and really looked to attack the defense, and they started to make shots. They cut their turnovers by more than half. They had ended up with 7 in the second half as compared to 17 in the first half. So that was the story of the game, and our player of the game, the young lady that was here, she made a huge difference. She was a great finisher, made a huge block there at the end. But at the end, I'd say both teams, both coaches are probably happy. Of course, the Tigers want to get that win, that first win of the season, but he's got to be happy at how his team fought, and they still had an opportunity to win the game in the end.
They did, but 16 of 61
Yeah.
almost is never going to cut it. That is a tough stat line for the Lady Tigers here tonight. Not good free throw shooting by either side. Rebounding battle pretty close. The turnovers, of course, you don't normally win games when you have 13 more turnovers than your opponent. So what would you put your finger on? How did this get away from Mansfield, F?
Well, I think where it started to get away in the second half is their transition defense really let them down. And that combined with the fact that Mount Vernon came out with the fact that, look, we are going to attack them. You know, that we don't care. If we keep turning the ball over, so be it. But they made up in their mind coming out of that locker room, they were going to attack. And the Tigers just weren't getting back. And so that's what allowed them to get back in the game. And once they took the lead there in the third quarter, they weren't looking back. And they were playing with extreme confidence by that point. So I think the transition defense, or the lack of the transition defense from the Tigers, and the energy that they were talking, that Mount Vernon came out with in the second half was a huge difference in this game.
And for Mansfield, again, you know, it's 2 times in the last 3 days where you're looking for the silver lining. We competed. We were right there at the end, but we didn't come away with the victory. However, as we know, in 2020, it's been really challenging. Mount Vernon at least had 5 games under their belt coming into tonight, whereas Mansfield, with all these freshmen getting into the lineup, they are still trying to figure things out here at the varsity level. So I think if you're Coach Hudgens, like you said, you can't necessarily be upset. It sucks that you only made 16 of your 61 shot attempts tonight. If you get just one of those to go, it's at least overtime. So right there on the doorstep, and I think this group, especially with these 9th graders, Effie, they just need more game action.
Right.
Point blank.
And I think Coach Hudgens, and I know they're getting kind of tired of the moral victories and hearing how young they are. They're not going to buy that after a while. After so many games, you're not freshmen anymore. You just got to come out and play. But with that being said, they have got some talented young ladies on that team, and they are going to be scary. And it'll be interesting to see this game the second time around. I don't know where I'll be at that point. Who knows when it'll be
Sure.
with the way this season is going. But I would love to see that game again because these are 2 quality teams, and they're both only going to get better.
Well, round 1 now in the books, and it's Mount Vernon come buzzing back in the second half. They knock off Mansfield Senior 48-46 here on the road. 2 wins in 2 days now for the Lady Jackets. It's going to wrap up our coverage from Mansfield Senior High School here at Pete Henry Gymnasium. Appreciate everybody out there watching on Facebook and YouTube. And we'd like to thank our fantastic staff for bringing you the action live and free here tonight. Down on the floor, we had Max Sinatra running camera. Up top, Jory Hollenbeck. Our fabulous director was Adam Thompson. My name is Brian Skowronski. This is Effie James. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, and we've got more live streams on the way coming up this weekend, but I encourage everybody to enjoy their New Year's Eve tomorrow and then New Year's Day, because guess what? We are turning the page on 2020 real soon, folks, and we are going to move on to bigger and better things. So Thanks for watching again, and so long for now. See you in the new year.